Baby, I'm back by popular demand.
I didn't come to play with you hoes.
Bitch, I'm back by popular demand. I did not come to play with you hoes. I came to slay, bitch, with the gift.
Wow. Very nice.
You know.
Another week of talking about Beyonce.
I know. We just keep having these conversations. We have like lengthy dissertations with
Well, that's because the bitch always stays surprising us.
I'm just like, wow, I'm choking. Get the heel off of my trachea right now.
Always.
It's so interesting because like, I don't know when I became a Beyonce stan because I used to be very pro Sierra. I used to be like,
why do you say that? Like,
but I've always been a stan.
Against each other, or like they're opposite ends of the spectrum.
It's not that. I just used to have a friend in Israel. She was very about Beyonce from the beginning, right? And I was like, no, Sierra's the next one who got it. Hey.
Oh.
And I quickly, you
were wrong.
I was wrong.
I'm Kayla.
Sierra has her own stuff, and I'm Britain.
And we're with Village Vibes Podcast.
We're with Village Vibes Podcast. What the fuck is that?
We are Village Vibes Podcast. Whatever.
We are the village. Okay? Okay? Okay?
Totes.
And you can be too by simply going to patreon.com/Village Vibes Podcast.
You're on your game today, bitch.
Listen, barely. After last night, barely.
Hey, you know what? You're doing a great job, sweetie.
Yeah, I'm really happy to be here despite the challenging weeks I've had, months to 2 years. You know what I mean? But
ever since we've been friends.
Yeah. No. I'm overdue for my major blessing. It's coming. It's coming.
Got you.
Well, we're back with another episode. Thank you so much for being patient with us while we are figuring out a lot of different details that are going on right now.
Yeah. Are we going to be sharing that or no?
I don't.
Oh, no, that's okay.
I was wondering if I should share that because nothing's set in stone.
Right. Let's just say this. We've been, there are some transitioning things happening where we kind of took a little bit of a step back from the podcast, which is why we've been kind of very quiet on Instagram.
Yeah.
Not really posting a whole lot. I mean, we're putting out episodes. We put out the Juneteenth episode and we put out an episode last week.
Right.
But yeah, so just bear with us. We're figuring it out and we will let everybody know what the deal is when it's time.
Let's just say it might be involving I could possibly be moving to another state.
Right.
And
so
but that does not mean the end of VVP.
Whoa.
I don't think so. I think we just need to
I'm just kidding. Well, anyway, we're I feel like this is what we do. We're very honest when we come onto these mics. So
absolutely. This
is the honest truth. We're just trying to figure out like what the next step is and how we're going to manage if that is the case, if we're not together and what we're going to do.
I don't even want to think about that though.
I know. But
it's been hard.
But it'll be if things fall into place, I think it'll be very good for you.
Yeah.
Bad for me, but whatever.
Bad for me too. You're not a just kidding. You are not a singular
Oh shit.
You
Sorry.
sure did.
That was the table.
Did.
My bad. Okay. Well, we're just gonna jump right in. We're we're a little tired today, but what's fucking
X
different?
will do that to you.
X gonna give it to you.
Dun 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 dun.
Yes, I feel like we're on today, bitch. We're right here with each other.
We see each other.
Okay, we're gonna go to the next segment. Of the week.
Yeah. Baby.
Days of the week.
Baby's kids. Da 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 da. Shooby dooby doo scat scat scat.
Scat porn.
That joke. I don't know. Have we ever talked about that on this show? That one
scat
joke?
Porn?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with JJ.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Because you thought
I was just gonna say it again because it's super funny.
Skibbity
bop 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 skip. Shooby doo doo dooby doo dooby doo. Did you ever watch
funny.
Real World Louisiana?
Yes.
You remember the black dude on there who would sing and he would always sing shoo doo dooby doo booby doo. He was like a bodybuilder, but he was this girl.
Wait, was he the one that was bi?
No.
Oh.
No.
Shit.
Oh, it was New Orleans.
New
Real world
Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah. That was like Jemmy and the guy who passed away.
Was it?
Yeah. You know that guy? He got into like a car accident or something.
Oh, yikes. Rest in power.
I don't know. I
That's
don't
a
remember
lot.
his name. But yeah. Okay. Base of the week. So Thursday night, we had the pleasure.
Your bay is my bay? Oh, okay, fine.
Your
Let's
bay
do it.
is my bay.
Because our bay is our bay.
It was taking eternity to break us. That was cute.
And the chains of Amistad. I always had a problem with
That
that
is
one.
maybe my
why
favorite
did we do
Whitney
that
song.
one? Saving All My Love, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, the classics.
You Give Good Love. Oh, legendary.
Whitney. Definitely.
So we definitely had...
Thursday night, we went to Edgefield. We got to see Lizzo. That bitch has got some motherfucking vocals.
Listen.
I mean, I've seen her live performances and she carries just fine, but
right.
I was not expecting. I mean, she went full fucking out.
Let me just tell you, like, when you see live performances on television, it doesn't do anything for the way when you're there in person. Because
I don't feel like it does her justice.
It doesn't. I saw her perform on the BET Awards, and I was like, that was good.
Yeah.
You know? But when I saw her live, I was like, oh, she can sing.
She's
like she can
really
sing. And I was, you know me, I'm always like, you know, my issues with like SZA, you know, she came out blasting for like the first song and then couldn't carry the rest of the show, right? In my opinion. But I still love her, still waiting on the new music, Take Your Time, all those things, you know?
Sure.
And that wasn't shade. But she came out singing hard on the first song, Lizzo did. And I was just okay, hold off.
Hard.
Like church hard.
Like gospel hard.
Gospel. And I was just like, okay, like, save a little bit for like the next 90 minutes.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But
I had the same thought too.
But she was full out with feeling, didn't miss a note, didn't miss a beat, didn't miss a breath.
No.
And killed it. The costume she had on, I was just like, I just love the celebration of the beautiful natural Black woman body.
Yes.
The dancers, nobody was like overly thin. I also applaud Beyonce for that too, because she's also hiring different bodies.
Yes.
And I'm just like, yes, we don't need to see stick figures.
Yes.
Like,
I love everything that Lizzo stands for.
Oh my goodness. I mean, she definitely is super next up.
Yeah. I mean, you really think about, like, even she's not just one whose messages are like positive outside of her music.
Yeah.
All of her songs are super empowering.
And that's why that's why I'm really shocked that she gets the reception that she does, because a lot of people don't.
Well, that's in trend right now.
It is, right?
That honest, like we talk about Cardi.
But to see her doing that particularly as a Black woman, or a Black human being, I'm just like, yes, and we support it.
Mm-hmm. Hard. She's getting a lot of attention.
And
right
she's
now.
dancing and she plays the flute. And like, I mean, she was nonstop from beginning till end. I think she needs more budget for tour, but
I was thinking the same thing, bitch.
I was like, give
me a screen or something.
Give this girl a raised platform.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't matter because the talent just outshone everything. But I was just like, no. We need some smoke machines. She had her fan. That was great. But you know, I was just like, give this girl more money.
I feel like the next time she'll be here, she'll probably be at a way bigger
The next time
venue.
she'll be here, she won't be performing at Edgefield. The girls who come to Edgefield never come afterwards because they blow up. Adele, she came there one time. She's like, venue's too small, sweetie.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, she's like an 8-time Grammy winner or some shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I feel you. In other news, Anti-Bay of the Week goes to fucking Jermaine Dupri, you dumb bitch. And the girls fucking came for you.
Oh,
okay? All of them did.
Miss Thing got dragged. Period.
I think Doja Cat's
and
was
I'm just
my
kind of like, I love Doja Cat's response.
It was.
She was sick.
Rihanna that one fucking time.
I'm like, how can you, as an executive, as a person who has sought out talent and built a lot of the talents around here and coming up, like, how could you say something like that? Do your research. Like,
I know.
You can't just be flying off the handle like this. You should know better. Mm-hmm. You're a seasoned veteran.
I mean,
and you ain't had no hint since, you know, money ain't a thing. I don't know. Like, girl.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you gave us Mariah's comeback. I'll give you that. You gave us Emancipation, honey. Mother.
Yeah,
but still, he was completely wrong. There are plenty. And that's the thing. he's like they sing in stripper music, but like that's what people are listening to. Nobody's checking for the no names and the tiara wax,
right?
You know, because they're not shaking ass and all that stuff. And no shade to the women that are, because they're very empowered and they're very much standing up in their womanhood, and I like it.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
I just hate that there's always this double-edged sword to everything. It's just like, why do women get hit so hard left and right? Now we're finally seeing the re-rise of women performers, rappers, artists, writers, singers, right? Particularly female rap, right?
But it's different now because like the conversation is shifting from calling it female rap to like these are just rap artists.
These are just rap artists.
They're rap artists. We don't have to call it female rap anymore. And it doesn't have to be
just one.
Yeah.
You know? It's not, I mean, because Nicki was really holding that title for like years. And I was just like, why is that?
So many. And I feel like maybe when Jermaine Dupri made that comment, he was talking just about Cardi, because right now she kind of holds that spot. But here's the
Cardi
truth.
Was like...
Cardi came through too and was like, listen to these rappers. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that I really love that.
Check
I really
footages.
love what she uses her platform for.
I'm really happy that she's staying on track with that as well.
Yeah.
I think she's really stepping into her polishedness. You know, she's a hood bitch.
Such a bougie bitch.
No, you got refined.
I hear you. I get it. Yeah. Well, I mean, but she doesn't in her. She's not. I would not call her refined. But the fact that she like talks about politics in the way that she understands them, and
I said she's stepping into it. She's no longer having beefs with like the average person on fucking Twitter. Like she stopped that bullshit.
Yeah. Well, she's like mega star.
She is
mega super.
Absolutely.
So anyway, fuck you, Jermaine Dupri. The bays were Lizzo, Alex, and Ripley. My friends.
Oh, they were great.
Met us there.
Shout out to Alex and Ripley.
Michael, Kenny,
Thank
Catherine
you for dealing with
also.
me in my drunken state.
Oh, it was so much fun. I feel like we had such a good time. It wasn't
toasted.
even really. I mean, Lizzo's performance was amazing. I can never see the stage in standing concerts. I'm just too fucking short.
That's why I was a little bit vexed with you.
Well,
I was like, why would you pick this space? Do better. Who did? Alex did. Damn it, Alex! What is wrong with you?
They were like, we're
kidding.
old. We don't want to be that close to the speakers. And I was like, first of all, you're not old. And secondly, come on.
We're not old. I need this absolutely has to stop. Even though I had a moment. So I recently moved. Screw you, landlords. But I recently moved and I was borrowing my dad's truck and I had all of my CDs from my teenage years. I was popping in like old Mary albums. I was like, oh my God, this music was epic. Like, I don't hear music like this no more. You don't hear people singing as the song is fading off anymore. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm now turning into back in my day. We had real music.
You know what? That's not true.
It's true.
We're up on like the current artists.
We're absolutely up on that. But we also, I know for me, I come from that generation of old school as well. So I know that music very well. And I realize now people don't know this music.
Right. Remember
and I'm like, one day somebody's going to like be like, I found this old CD, this artist, Mary J. Blige, just Share My World album.
You said I'm like, vintage.
Vintage, you know? And I'm like, oh, hell no. I mean, it's like we were talking about last night. People are sampling Beyonce now. That Meek Mill song.
Yes.
I was like, oh, wait. We're sampling Beyonce.
Right.
I was like, Beyonce and Rihanna are now like the icons and the legends, the people who the new artists are coming up to saying, I grew up listening to you. I'm here because of you. And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, it wasn't that long ago.
They're the new age like Michael,
Shaka Khan,
Stevie's.
Yeah.
That's
the kids are saying
legends.
Icon status. Like, nobody knows. Oh God. All right. So yes, Lizzo is definitely Bae of the Week. So were her dancers.
Yes, and the dancers. It was a great time.
Outside of Lizzo, I again just want to give Baes of the Week to the cast of Pose.
Oh.
Thank you for sharing these stories. Thank you, Ryan Murphy, for allowing these stories to be told by the people that they need to be told by.
Oh.
And I'm not saying allowing because he worked with a number of people. They work, but Ryan Murphy.
Ryan Murphy's big time.
He's big time.
I mean, he's produced a lot of really
Janet Mock,
popular
your boyfriend Lil Poppy. I want to. Okay.
Okay, I actually have something about Pose and what I learned. So, also I need to issue a public apology for fucking up Megan Rapinoe's name on the last podcast. And I went and watched the World Championships, which
you loved it.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, obviously everybody's excited that they won and that I really like Megan, but I'm going to be really honest. Before the last podcast, I had not watched a single game. I just knew that I liked her, and I follow her on Instagram, and I knew that I liked what she stood for, but I had never really heard her last name. Yes, absolutely. So anyway, yeah, I'm a piece of shit. I should have done my research and learned how to.
It's fine, sis, to be like, I didn't know. You ain't got to be up on everything all the time, and you should feel no shame around that. Like, it's okay. You know now.
I know, but it's not a lot of effort to do so. You know what I'm saying?
But you put in a lot of effort in general, okay?
I know.
Like, it's fine that you missed
still
a news line. It's fine. It's fine. Really. There's a lot of shit I don't know. It's okay to own up to that shit.
Thank you. I just felt like, she deserves better, so.
And she has
readdress
better. She's doing fine.
Yeah, she really is.
Just fine.
God, and she's fine.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that you're stepping into your lesbianism.
Only after being called slurs by you for so
That's
long.
not true.
Okay, we'll be right back.
You've been bi for a while.
Okay. Thank you for identifying me. Speaking on my experience.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
Are we gonna move on? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is what I learned.
Feeling that she wouldn't be into that.
You never know. People these days.
That's true.
People these days be into a lot of stuff.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Do you look at people and think, I bet you're just a freak? Sometimes?
I sometimes look at people. You know what? Some people do have that swag. There's definitely who gives off like, oh, you put it down. I can tell.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see
but
that.
I'm more of in a space of. I'm being the observer these days, saying, I would love to, set my face,
right in between those cheeks.
What that mouth do?
Okay. We were watching like Blue Planet or something, and a fish opened its mouth super wide, and Britton said, "What that mouth do though?"
Listen, I need to be a commentator.
The commentary that you provide for the nature docs are funny.
They're good.
They're funny.
I'm sorry, that wildlife in the sea is something else. That shit is savage.
Listen, those animals be crazy as fuck.
They do.
All lit up and shit. It's fucking weird. Evolution really is a crazy fucking thing.
It really is.
Wow. Okay. You got things you learned?
I have been fortunate to I would say fortunate. So I started intermittent fasting, and I'm not sure if this is a part of it, but I'm doing intermittent fasting and plant-based eating. My focus has just been like lightning.
Lasers.
It's laser. My focus is better. I have had no anxiety attacks, no depression.
Wow.
And when I tell y'all, and I know I talk about this all the time, but these last 3 months, my struggle has been kind of catastrophic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I don't really know how it is that I've managed to not lose my shit. I'm quite surprised, and I want to assume that it's because of the intermittent fasting and the plant-based eating.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have to give a shout out to that, because given the hardships I've been facing lately, old Britain you wouldn't have heard from me. We would definitely not be recording. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, oh, the show's over. I'm not doing shit. I'm kind of still.
We had that phase though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember January last year?
Yeah.
Or was it December? It was December or January. It was the winter month.
Yeah. I mean, if it's something that y'all, and the thing of it is, if that's something people are interested in, I encourage you, but don't rush into it. Do the research. Figure out what works best for you. Start at the lowest setting of intermittent fasting, and then move your way up. I kind of dabble between. I dabble between the 18-hour fast and 6-hour window to eat, and the 16-hour fast and the 8-hour window to eat.
Can you break that down a little bit about why fasting is beneficial for your body?
Yes. One is your cells start to regenerate a lot healthier.
Ooh.
2 is you burn fat. Your ketones start to activate, and so your body begins to feed on areas of fat, pretty much. Not only that, it regulates and normalizes your insulin output.
Ooh.
And me being pre-diabetic, I just feel a lot better in my body. The inflammation is down in my body. I mean, it's tough. I'm drinking water all day. I add minerals, trace minerals into my water, take my vitamins. I break my fast. No, I don't break my fast. I just have a cup of coffee in the morning, black coffee, add some coconut oil. And whenever my fast eats, I make sure, that's the other part. Make sure that you are eating nutritious foods. That's super important. Have like a juice or a salad, and not a salad with like
blue cheese,
Thousand Island,
that
croutons, bacon bits. Don't do that. Don't do Catalina. You need spinach, kale, romaine lettuce, greens, parsley, that kind of stuff, and then other vegetables. And you got to stick within your time. You have to eat the amount of calories you would eat throughout the day in your window of time. It doesn't always work that way, but
but that's ideal.
Yeah, and I started at 258. I am now at 236.
Wow.
You know.
We've been talking about the reveal for some time.
Yeah, so I'm really doing the reveal is coming. You know, I have a ways to go. I'm trying to drop down a little bit more, and this is just for health reasons, for feeling better in my body, and also just aesthetically. That's important to me. Especially being in the dance world, I have a lot of fucked up things that happened to me in the dance world and messed up my mentality. So, you know, I just want to get back to a more comfortable place. I feel a lot better in my body.
Yay. That's the goal, right?
Be hungry as fuck. Also, if you drink alcohol, you have to do that in your window as well.
Thank you for breaking that down.
Sleep is also very important for intermittent fasting.
Bitch, if
sleep
I
is
know
important
how to
in
do
general.
one thing,
If you know how to one thing, it is knockout.
Listen,
It
if there
lay
is
down.
one form of self-care that is consistent for me, it's sleep.
Absolutely.
I'm
always
not
getting
getting
on K.
7 hours.
Sometimes I go to K house. It'd be 9 o'clock. I'd be like, "Hey, girl, you going to bed yet? You get ready for bed?" Because she be going to bed at like 9.
I do not. I go to bed at like 10, and then I usually fall asleep between 11 and 12.
Okay.
But still, a bitch needs sleep.
Sleep
That is
is important.
like, I cannot function if I've not had at least 7 hours.
Yeah, I really want to encourage people to start being really mindful. And in a lot of communities, you know, there's systematic things that are set in place. Food deserts, people don't have the education about food, processed foods, all that stuff. You know, it's just being mindful. I encourage everyone to be mindful about their nutrition. I think that's super important. And listening to your bodies and like doing what's best for you.
And speaking about it.
Yeah.
So that these kids can learn too, right? Yeah.
And the other thing I guess it really feels good. Feels good. To know and see that we are now in a generation of people who are talking about mental health and mental wellness, I think is super important. Because this was things that growing up, these are things that are taboo. You didn't talk about it. You prayed your way through it, all that stuff. Again, check on your strong friends. Really check in and ask them how they're doing. Are they ask them real questions. And if they have the capability to communicate effectively, then, you know, really invest in them, because you never know what people are going through. We have to check in on each other. I think that's super important.
Yes.
But it's also super important. We've said this many times. Like, I hope you feel comfortable to be open.
Yeah.
I really
with
feel
someone in some kind of space.
Yeah. So
at least one person. And investing also, for those of you who don't know, it does not mean like telling them what you think that they should do or how they should get out of it or what you would do in that situation. It's just supporting them in where they're at and what they need from you at that moment. Yeah. And also just showing up.
Absolutely.
Making sure, even if it's just through a text message.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just listening.
Yeah. I know that when I first was diagnosed with depression, there was a point in time where I was using it kind of as a crutch, but there were also times where it was real and I really didn't want to go see anybody, but it was hard because I don't think at the time my friends understood that, and they were like, well, come out, it'll make you feel better. And I was always like, no, I don't think you're not listening to me. That's not what I need right now. So anyway, in thinking about that, and also understand that everybody has different coping mechanisms. Right. And, you know, unless it's like very harmful coping mechanisms, maybe don't meddle so much. Just let them deal with it the way that. And
something I heard the other day is that, like, you have to realize that, like, even if you are employing harmful things on your journey, if you're still here, you're still here. And it took you going through those things, and you did those things so that you could get here and so that you could start to improve. So
A little word from Britain today.
A little something, a little something.
Something.
You know,
like
and you'll make it through. Challenges are real.
Mhm.
If you're out there and you're facing some hard shit, if you can, just take that time to really reflect, ask yourself the right questions, let go of the fear. That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's let go of the fear and stop living under these fucking rules that we think we're supposed to live by. You're a fucking living being. You control the movement of your journey and your destiny.
Yeah, we're just all here by chance, y'all. So you might as well just fucking live it up.
You might as well.
What
you
the
might
fuck
as well.
is the difference?
I am tired of living by rules. I mean,
Yep.
I'm not gonna be out here crazy, but like, I'm just like, man, I have options.
looting.
I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I can say no, and people will just have to be disappointed.
But,
I know.
Yeah. So, I wrote that too. I said, I know we've said this many times on the show, but honestly, just do what you want to. As much as your access will allow, at
Mhm.
least.
Mhm.
Because we really don't know there's no way for us to know, like, what the future holds or
Mhm.
when opportunities are going to arise and then not come back. And, I mean, you might as well just do it. I thought I understood that. But as I'm growing and learning more about myself, I realize more and more like, oh, I never really understood that until
Mm-mm.
I'm starting to understand it now,
Yeah.
but I'm still just on the cusp. It's hard. That's a really hard mindset to have.
It's continuous work. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah. But it's a hard mindset to have, when you have other restrictions upon you. When you've got to work a
absolutely.
full-time job and you don't make
Absolutely.
a ton of money and, all those other things that make life difficult, way more difficult than they need to be. And it's just stupid.
absolutely.
I hate
100.
humans. We're the worst. Okay.
I love you humans. We're gonna, and I love you.
That's
human,
the difference between you and I.
Human Kayla.
Is that you and I both actually don't like humans, but you're just fake and you're lying.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because fuck if we spent time on this every week. I mean, we already do spend time on it every week and, it's noticed and we wouldn't have to do this, by the way, if y'all would just shut the fuck up, okay? Just shut the fuck up.
What are we talking about?
Ilhan Omar. Just
Yikes,
know, sis, that
again.
here's the thing.
Again, the ignorant.
I am just astounded. I mean, just flabbergasted that the House of Representatives are having like actual fucking hearings, like legitimate fucking meetings about a Twitter account.
Yeah.
Now, let that soak in. That is the time that we're in.
Yeah.
If there's any positive to this, which, God damn it, I hate to say that there is because it's all bullshit. But at the very least, people have rushed to stand with Ilhan, and I think that I don't think that any good comes of this kind of bullshit, but I know that she's there, she's in the House.
Her, Ayanna Pressley, AOC. I'm forgetting the other young lady's name. She wears glasses. Rashida Tlaib? No. I have it wrong.
I don't know.
But I agree with you. I couldn't believe they actually had votes. I feel like people are missing the point. I'm like, you are in Congress to do service to the people. Have y'all forgotten what your job is?
Yes, but no. They've known this all along. It is just so fucking frustrating that it is just so fucking frustrating.
And
Go ahead.
It's thoroughly frustrating too that in those votes that were happening, people in Congress were actually saying, no, those tweets were not racist.
Right.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
What is wrong with y'all?
Yeah.
And then to say, go back to where you came from, you mean born here, bruh?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But also, like, it is just so stark the fact that they are behind, that this is against a black woman.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh, yeah.
They've never said anything like that
woman.
about whatever malaria. What's her name? Melania
Trump. That one.
So I know that we talk about this every week, but
that bitch can't even complete a sentence.
I can't listen to
whack ass initiatives. Fuck you.
Anyway, if you don't stand with Ilhan, then you're racist. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't know what else to tell you. The thing is, at this point in time, you're either with it or you get lost, because there's a very clear line drawn here. And yes, it gets messy. Liberals are messy, and we have a hard time coming together and agreeing on all of the same issues. But the reality is, like, the line, there's a hard fucking line in the sand. There's a hard line in the sand these days, and you don't get to dance over it. You've got to just fucking pick a side. And if you're going to pick a side, if you're going to pick the right side, then you better fucking commit, because if you're not committed to it, then that's you dancing on the line. When you say shit like, well, what about white people? Or,
yeah, her name is Rashida Tlaib. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And what about men? And not all men, and hashtag all lives matter. No, you don't get to do those things anymore and not be called out for what it is. It's just the line is very clear. And for those of you who think you're on the right side of the line, but you're out here being a messy little bitch and you're not actually listening to any fucking shit that's being said to you, then you're not on the right side of the line, period.
I don't know if this, the sides thing is interesting, right? I would just err on the side of human beings. Like, let's like.
Here we go. I mean, listen, I think
and I hope that's not all lives matter now.
People grow, right? And
they change.
And they learn, and they you know what I mean? But you know what? I'm really just talking about like those white liberals that really aren't as liberal as they think they are,
right.
And they still stand for similar things.
I mean, it runs rampant here in Portland.
Absolutely.
All of these kids be out here really thinking they down and standing for a cause. I'm like, girl, your t-shirt don't mean shit.
Right.
If you ain't talking to your racist Amy and Pappy, then you ain't doing no work.
Right. Absolutely. It's just that
your t-shirt does not mean you are down for the cause, sister.
No. But I'm not trying to be divisive necessarily. It's just that I'm really sick and tired of people not doing, just people not caring. Don't sit here and say that you care on Facebook, but you don't actually care in real life. That's some really self-fulfilling horseshit, and I'm just not down with it anymore. And I also, like, you think about quote-unquote liberal spaces, Pride, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that ain't,
and that's still not exactly.
Girl,
well, that's my point. Is that like even in those spaces, we still have issues and things
of racism,
absolutely,
of transphobia,
absolutely.
The whole nine. I don't go to prides. The white gays don't do it for me.
Yeah, and I
they
totally
just don't.
get
They're
that.
not for me. They're not about me. They don't care. They just look at me as
I just want
a black
people to be checking their liberalism or whatever that means to you, or like where you stand. Because if you are participating in these quote unquote liberal spaces, but you're not standing up for, but you're not doing anything else,
right.
And those spaces are already created for you, you're just not doing anything. You're not doing the work. I just wish that people would do the work. And I also wish that we didn't have to talk about this every week.
And I also just wish that I need y'all to be understanding of this. Like, seriously, I am not the spokesperson for your ignorance. It is not my job to educate you. You don't get to speak to me and say things like, oh, your dancing is so great. We love what we see. Now keep doing it. Dance, Negro. Dance.
You the white people at the Lizzo concert.
Listen.
Wow. Oh, wow. First of all, now, I understand that y'all are at a concert and y'all are having a good time. Y'all have some drinks, whatever. I get it. Please don't. If you can't twerk, then don't try to do it.
Right. If you see a black person enjoying themselves, it is not your job to come up to them.
He is not your entertainer.
Not your entertainer.
He is not your private
I wish
dancer.
you would see that. Like, I know you're looking at it as a compliment, but no, I do not stand for that. I hated that when those white women said that to me. I'm at a concert dancing.
Every time. Okay, so this has happened several times when I've been with Britton. White women will come up to him and say, "Oh my God, I love you," or "Oh my God, I think you're so awesome," or "Keep dancing." And I'm always like, every time I hear it, it sounds like, I always say it to you, dance, puppet.
Right.
Like, that's what it sounds like.
Or dance, Negro.
Yes, absolutely.
Dance for me.
Do a jig.
Where's my check then, ho? Anywho. Also, I mean, that was something I experienced at my recent festival that I was teaching at. You know, we were talking. Myself and my friend we were approached.
Mm-hmm.
So what does BIPOC mean now? Black Indigenous.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were just like, okay, so explain more about the BI. And I'm like, I actually don't. No, I actually won't be doing that.
Yeah.
I actually won't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
That's your job, ma'am.
Yep.
I told you what it means and what it says. I'm not doing the rest. I'm not here. And then she was like, oh yeah, well come back and let me know. And I'm like, I won't. I walk into my job, which is one of the widest places on earth. I cannot believe it.
Mm.
And I had on my little sun hat, a little blue little linen shirt, some coral shorts. And the woman at the reception is like, oh, you're just so tropical today. I wanted to reach over there. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What do you mean? And then another white woman accosted me, like, as I was walking through the hall. Oh, there's that sombrero I've been seeing everywhere. I have never, I can't be in that space for too long.
No.
I won't ever do that to
I don't
myself
blame
again.
you. Wow.
I will not. And she had to learn. I was like, a sombrero? How stupid do you sound?
I just can't believe that she.
It's like they can't believe they're seeing a black person dressed well. It's really weird. Anywho.
I'm just.
Open your eyes, folks.
Yeah.
Y'all need to be doing better work.
Just do
If you're
better.
not active, then you're not doing any work. If you're not, what are you willing to sacrifice?
What are you willing to do?
Tell me.
Okay, so
yeah,
anyway.
standing with Ilhan, and I mean, I applaud her because she is so gracious. She is handling this so well. I know that she's receiving death threats. I know that she's has so much opposition coming her direction. I know all these women do because they can't stand the fact that these women of color or these humans of color
Are representing
are
their
stepping
state.
to the stage to do the work they said and set out to do.
Here's the thing too, is that these women didn't just fall into the house. They were voted in, and they're qualified folks.
More than qualified.
So it's all of it is really frustrating, but I really did love her response. She got a big welcome at the airport when she got home.
Nice.
And said that she is Trump's worst nightmare, and keeping in line with his worst nightmare, the Cheetos nightmare. I started watching Pose.
Nice.
I got caught up. I binged it. Holy shit! Yeah, that's a show that everybody should be watching. Period. I mean, the way that I can't remember the writer's name. But just the way that the actors, the fact that the cast is so largely trans and queer, that many of them are black and brown.
Yes.
I mean,
showing relationships with
and then
people, Little Poppy and
Yes.
and Angel.
Oh God, what a beautiful.
I
couple
love
too.
this.
Yeah, I mean, we really don't see stories like that, especially with cis men.
Right.
Right.
And these and the fact that people are, it's so new to people. I'm just like, I grew up with these stories. I've known about this.
Right.
I remember Pedro from Real World San Francisco.
Pedro. Yeah. I mean,
When Angelina Jolie did Gia.
oh,
This shit was going down.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really grow up with those stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the way that they just so seamlessly intertwine the educational piece is just
In the ballroom scene.
so
all of
spectacular.
it.
It's
How
so
they've
good.
inspired.
It's
And I
so
love how they're
good.
talking about how the ballroom scene inspired Madonna. I mean,
Yeah.
fact be told.
And the way that they react to it, like some of them saying, well, this isn't going to do shit for us. Nothing ever has. And others are,
And people get to steal our shit.
yeah.
And
And then also how excited they were that a white woman was talking about their culture and putting it on mainstream. And also, like, I don't think I really realized what, first of all, how I know that the AIDS epidemic was,
people were going down in weeks.
yeah, but I didn't I guess I didn't realize what a death sentence it was.
Yeah.
But
And the
see that the way
disrespect
that
to
the
their
characters
bodies,
react.
where they were placed on these islands, people who didn't have their families who
Right.
supported them, the whole nine.
Right.
That Candy episode.
Bitch.
Here's my tea. I applaud Pose because I'm so glad that they don't rely on. There's a lot of heartbreak in this series, but I'm so glad they don't rely on tragedy.
Right.
In telling these stories. You know, a lot of these stories that get told with that, you know, it's always the trans or gay person getting beaten to fucking death.
Right.
You know, I mean, and Candy died, but and it is important.
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry. But you know, I'm so glad. I'm always waiting. I'm always anxious because I'm like, oh God, when is the scene where we're going to see like the tragic beating or killing of a person? And they don't show that. And I'm just like,
yeah.
Whew, I can breathe. Because it's much like slave films. I'm like, I just can't
It's
watch
so
it. I just don't want to.
Right.
I'm like, why re-traumatize me like that?
Right. Absolutely.
They keep it real. They keep it very accurate, but they don't rely heavy on the violence.
Right. And I really, God, it's
on
a good
showing,
show.
displaying the violence.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Kind of like glorifying it,
Yeah.
more or less. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's
and they're getting the message through in a way where it's really just impacting people and lives. And I can start to see the shift in everyday people being comfortable in their own skin, parents being comfortable with having conversations with their children about how they feel, who they are.
Right.
Euphoria is another one. I'm just like, oh God, like, yes.
I gotta get HBO back.
Keep saying that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's fine.
Oh, so you're agreeing I cut you off?
Yeah. It's fine.
So you're agreeing I cut you off? Okay.
No.
Yes, you are.
I don't know. Okay, that's all. That's it. That's it. We have a very special guest today.
Yes, we do. Oh, hey, people.
Oh.
Here's another thing. Really take the time to listen to, if you are a white parent who's adopted black children or brown children, if you are a white person who has black friends, you know, here's the thing that I think is super important to do. When somebody's telling you about their experience and what they're really going through, it is not your job to then deny or negate their experience with your own.
Right.
They're two totally different experiences. And like, one is really steeped in privilege and access and opportunity and things that some folks didn't have. And it's not to say your story is not valid or worth hearing, but in these spaces,
your story's been told,
and it's been told. You know, and maybe you need to take a deeper look into some other things that are going on. Maybe you just haven't been heard yourself, and you want to. It's just not that me expressing to you how I'm going through certain challenges does not give you the right to then overshadow mine. And generalize it or normalize it because I don't know. But you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
It has to stop, y'all. Like, please stop.
I know. Well, look at where it's led us. I mean, this is happening in our country because people are ignorant and selfish. And it is work. It's very hard to see things outside of your own perspective. Actually, it's not. I'm just saying that. It's not really that hard, but I think it's hard for some people.
I have these moments where I think, what if the roles were reversed when it came to things like slavery, oppression, systematic oppression, all of these things? You know, I was like, could you imagine like if it was reversed, if white folks were enslaved?
Right.
Okay.
God.
And don't sit there and think for 1 second that just because it was however 100 many years ago that shit still don't impact how we react to one another today and treat each other today.
Go ahead and look up ancestral trauma.
Ancestral trauma.
Go ahead and look up generational trauma.
Generational trauma.
Go ahead and Google the word racism.
Do it.
Read a book.
How to be less stupid about race. Still reading it.
Also, what I've been thinking about, and I think I've said this on the show many times, but I just feel like it's worth repeating. When we say that we don't want to be the token people to speak for all people, they think that because I'm a loud feminist that somehow I always want to have like these social conversations. And I'm like, no.
No, I don't.
My job, the career I chose was to teach children. That's what I do. I enjoy conversing with adults as well, but I'm not always trying to do that. There are people out there, y'all, who literally get paid to teach you ignorant folks about some shit, okay? It's their job. So why don't you seek out the people whose job it is and stop asking those of us who already live the experience every day and maybe don't want to talk about it every time we see you.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Jane Elliott, Jane Elliott, Jane Elliott,
No.
Jane Elliott.
If there's ever a white woman that I'll get behind, my God, it's Jane Elliott.
Please.
Wow.
Check out on YouTube, Jane Elliott, Jane Elliott, Jane Elliott. I'll say it again, Jane Elliott.
And if you just want to be entertained,
And if you get mad,
watch it just for her reading other white people.
Oh my God.
Wow. It is really, it's
Delicious.
really something. Yes, delicious.
They
That's
get
a good
hot, honey.
one. Ooh.
They get hot.
Well, I'm leaving. Jane's like, you better sit your ass back down, you privileged little fuck. Just kidding.
All
She
right.
doesn't say that. All right, y'all. We're gonna be back.
Have a delicious day.
No, we're not. We're not done.
We're not.
Okay.
But we'll be back
Okay.
with our special guest.
Yep.
Just in. Okay.
That's too big.
Hello, 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 hello. We're back in action and we've got a star in the room.
That was cute.
Yes, thank you. So I'm known for my legendary introductions.
I know.
We met this beautiful soul at the My People's Market. What's My People's Market?
Momentous.
Momentous. That's where it was. You approached me with such a light and such a joy and such a love, and it was so genuine, and I appreciated you that day because, I mean, we were sitting in there, all the people were around asking us questions, and we were just bewildered. But when you stepped up to me and introduced yourself, it calmed me.
You definitely have a spirit and an energy about you.
Thank you.
We have pronouns?
Yes. She, her, and they, them.
Okay, yes.
You are a fierce advocate, a community
Yes.
leader, community organizer,
Yes.
badass
Doing a lot of
entrepreneur.
things. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Damn near does about everything else,
You are
as
the
I can see.
Erica.
Shit.
You got the name?
Yeah.
You want me to say the name?
Go ahead.
Erica Fuller.
We see each other
We
today.
did.
Okay. Tell us about you. Tell us who you are,
Yeah.
what you do, what you're here for, connections to
Yeah.
PDX.
Yes. So I actually grew up here in Oregon. I'm from Gresham.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I have lived in the same house for 27 years.
Okay.
Okay.
We have not moved. So I have seen everything change from southeast to up to Gresham and the gentrification that's been happening.
Yeah.
And then I also have family in northeast Portland as well too. So like I was telling you when I was coming up here, my grandma lives off, I think I want to say Denver. She lives off the street that she lives off on is Gay Street.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Holla.
Okay. So you've definitely seen the community. You've seen the evolution of Portland, Gresham. You see the gentrification, and has that inspired you to get out and do your work
Yes.
and
Yes.
to what that motivates you to do what you're doing?
Yeah, that has inspired me a lot to get out and do what I'm doing. So when I first was after I graduated from high school, I went to Mount Hood Community College, got my associates there in general studies. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I really didn't.
And that's okay.
Yep, that is okay. I found out later that is totally okay.
Right? 'Cause school is a scam. Keep telling these girls.
Yep. and so then I went to Portland State. Did not like it there.
Yeah, me either. Why not?
You didn't,
Yeah.
Kay?
Yeah.
I hated Portland State.
Really? I thought you
Absolutely.
hated the other one.
U of O?
Yeah.
I loved U of O. I just couldn't afford it.
Gotcha.
But
Okay.
why did you hate Portland State?
I hated Portland State just because of how they treated people of color, and it was mostly as a tokenizing thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
I ran for vice president of the student government there. And even though we had went down to the people that were in charge of the mailing, you know, the emails, student emails and stuff like
communications.
that. Yeah, communications and stuff like that. We went down there 3 times to make sure that we could send a mass email about our student government election. And we got the okay. Thing is, we didn't get in writing. That's another thing. That's a life lesson.
Yeah, that is a huge thing. Get it in writing.
Get it in writing.
Get a signature.
Get it in writing.
Yep.
And so, because of that, we got in trouble and we got disqualified because they said that we misused the email server, even though that's what the hell it's for, is to send mass emails about student issues. I mean, it's not just to send emails about tuition going up higher and stuff like that. If you guys want to you want to make sure that you're hearing the voice of the students, this is what the students are doing. There's an election going on that you need to tell them about. And so...
that's why you hate Portland State.
That's why I hate Portland State.
And that's a good reason.
But thing is, I didn't go to U of O. I went to OSU.
Oh, so we trying to fight. You want to fight me?
Are those the Beavers?
Yes, they are.
Good job, Britt.
Thanks.
Hey.
I know things about sports.
Oh, you're so good.
Oh
You're
my
doing
God.
so
Thank
good.
you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then fuck you then. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. I went to U of O for 6 months. I can't be nobody's duck. I'm not even invested in that shit.
I went to Oregon State for, 2014 to 2016. Yep.
Did you like it there?
I, for the most part, really enjoyed the student life that I was around because I was around social justice folks.
Absolutely.
So, like, I went to the cultural centers and I hung out there. And then I was also part of student government and I hung out there. And then I was also the president of the College Democrats of America. Or not president of the College Democrats of America. College Democrats of Oregon State University.
Gotcha.
So I got to hang. I had a bunch of places that I could hang out with, and that was really nice.
Yeah.
Because some folks, when you go in there, especially when you're a person of color and you don't come from those, like I was already in College Democrats because I was at PSU, and we had all ran on that slate together, and we had all gotten in trouble together at PSU, so we all kind of like, see ya.
Saw your way out.
Saw our way out. And so I had became the programs and development director for College Democrats of Oregon State Association. So the whole entire, we had a big chapter. So, like, there was the chapter states at the university level. Then there was the overall state chapter, and then there was the national chapter as well too. And so by the time I was about to see my way out of Oregon State, I had been in every portion of the College Democrats of America, basically. So, like, I was the regional director, where I was in charge of about 7 or 8 states within the Western region.
Wow.
So, like, that included Hawaii, Alaska, Montana, California, Nevada, Utah, all those people.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Did you have like a moment at some point in your life, either before college or after college, in those experiences where you were like, okay, this is the work that I want to do? Or, like, was there something specific that inspired that?
It was something specific that inspired that. It wasn't until I didn't graduate from Oregon State. I ended up having a mental breakdown because I was not taking care of myself mentally, and self-care is a thing.
It is.
And mental
It's a
health
real
is
thing.
And they kept it from us
And the
for
work-
a long
Right.
time.
Yeah.
And the work for it is a real thing. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like it really it really requires you to dive a lot
It's
deeper.
not bubble
It's not
baths,
surface.
people.
It's not just those are great too, right?
Those
But,
are
like,
great, but that's not
to uncover the layers.
Yeah.
Requires some investigation.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. And so what I ended up doing then was, before I started like working on myself and everything, it wasn't until the Women's March, and I got involved in that. And the reason why I got involved in that is because I had a big ass mouth.
Big ass mouths are good.
Yes, I had a big ass mouth, and
What that mouth do?
was mad because the NAACP had pulled out of the Women's March here in Portland. And because the reason why they pulled out is because the original people of the Women's March did not want to focus on
Here
race.
we go. You better expose these bitches. Okay, so
you
talk
work with?
about.
Did you work with? Oh, go ahead, Kay. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, talk about the Women's March,
Yeah.
and kind of like what
your involvement in that.
Yeah, what you and the team were specifically doing to involve Black and brown women who don't typically, because these are typically all white spaces, especially in Portland, right?
Yeah.
So what y'all did to kind of like encourage folks to get out to the Women's March.
Yeah. So my job was to basically make sure to put a face and show that a Black woman was the one that's in charge now. That we are the ones that are organizing it, and that we all need to come together. And so Margaret Jacobson, who I worked with, and if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been involved anyway. So give kudos to her. She was like, I need another sister on board this ship, and will you come with me? Because she heard my voice, and my voice has reached DC when we had the Nationals president for College Democrats of America. Her name is Natasha McKenzie. She hit a rape within the organization, and so my voice, because I looked at to her as a mentor. I mean, you look at Black women like, we've been through a lot of shit together, and so you gonna come out and represent us right. And so that's one of the things that I learned, that we can't always put our faith,
Trust?
faith and trust into human beings, because at the end of the day, we're still human beings.
Absolutely. And we all fuck up.
Exactly. And we all fuck up. And so that's one of the things that I learned through that. And because of that, that's how my voice reached DC, because I was like really pissed off and said, I wrote a letter. I don't remember what I wrote in that letter, because
you were hot.
I was hot.
Heated.
But somebody contacted me, called me and said, hey, did you know that your voice reached DC? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But back to the Women's March. How I got involved in that was because of the NAACP had pulled out. I voiced my concern on Facebook, and what I did then was they basically, Margaret Jacobson called me and said, or messaged me on Facebook and said that she needed somebody to basically be like the spokesperson. So the person that's in the front of the lens doing press conferences and different things like that.
Oh shit.
How did white women in particular take to?
They weren't happy.
Yeah.
They weren't happy.
Why is that?
And
we know why.
Oh, we know why. It's because of that privilege. Like,
now that is a subspecies of humans that are wild. I mean, white women are.
Yes. And we can tell by just the Trump election in 2016. So,
preach.
But yeah. So they were not too happy. But it was mostly from what we saw, a lot of the rural women And that's, again, what happens with that rural and urban divide that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Because I, at the time, didn't, they just walked out, so I didn't have no relationship or contact with them during any of my time during the Women's March.
No context or nothing. Like,
no, nothing.
Came in and we were just like,
they don't live here anymore. So I was like, okay. And so what I basically did was I tried to connect with the people that I knew through the Democratic Party to help with the rural and urban, because we have rural Democrats as well too. And I'm the woman caucus chair for the Democratic Party of Oregon.
Wow.
And
You really got your hand.
Damn,
You're starting a lot of pots, ain't you?
Yeah. I know. So the Women's March, is that you feel like that is kind of what was a big turning point?
That was a big turning point for me, because the reason why is like, okay, I know that I have to do this work, because I mean, the work that I did, like going back and looking back at it, like I used to organize my class on weather. So like I had my own weather team by the time I was in 6th grade.
Hey.
And I would get up at 5:30 every morning, and I would check the weather for the northeast coast and the south and Midwest and Southwest.
So you've been just an entrepreneur forever.
Exactly.
Wow.
So,
a community organizer forever.
Exactly. And so I'm just like, this has to be where I am, where
you're
God,
rooted.
where I'm rooted, where God has put me to help other folks in need that don't have a voice. I was lucky to have, like, unlike other Black families, I was lucky to have a dad at home. Yeah, he might have been working all the time, but I was still had a father that he could come home at night, and so he could see me and I could see him. But it was just like, okay, so now that I know what I need to do, how can I make this work for myself? How can I help better organize and start making funding? Because
there it is. How the fuck? Yeah,
particularly in this area where ain't nobody checking for us anyway.
Right,
exactly.
Without a a white face.
Exactly.
Do you feel like it's growing though? Do you feel like the POC community is, because Britton and I always talk about, and we talk about this on the show all the time, that we really feel like the POC, in particular the Black community in Portland, is really like cultivating some real shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think we are. Yeah. We really are. And it's not, I know we are, because I can see from like all of these organizations that are putting together real stuff. The thing that I also want to talk about as well too is we have to make sure that we don't fuck ourselves at the end of the day. And what I mean by that is that we aren't putting money and power over the lives of human beings. And that means that includes for us as in people of color in our communities as well too, because it has shown in the past that we have like kicked our cousin to the curb for more money or stuff like that. We can see it in entertainment.
We get greedy.
We get greedy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I stay telling Asian
that's
folks
a divisive system.
Racist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what we need to do is we need to make sure that can't happen. Because we need to continue to grow our community as much as we are doing right now. And by coming and by having like this platform to do it in is a wonderful way to do it.
And I think that requires us coming together and breaking certain cycles, breaking historical cycles, breaking traumatic cycles, letting go of things like homophobia and transphobia, realizing we're all in this together and we have to unify.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts. It means we have to dive into our issues and really do some work and do something about it.
Yeah. So what kind of, like, what is your attitude about, like, the cancel culture that's occurring right now? Like, people slip up and make a mistake. Now, there are people, like, R. Kelly deserves to be canceled, period.
Oh,
and has been. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not taking, like, big extreme cases, but in trying to be inclusive and making sure that we're all on the same side. I I've been thinking for a long time about how before the Trump administration, how it's so difficult for us to kind of all feel like we're on a team together, particularly liberals, because we're thinkers and we're movers and we're growers and we're not just here to follow a crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So how do you what is your advice for, I mean, listen, here's the real truth. Republicans, if one Republican uses a term or a word, they all do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they are
They
a
activate.
unit.
They
Absolutely.
activate.
They're a unit.
Yeah.
And I've always wished that we could do the same. I know why. Because we're thinkers and growers and such, but
everybody has a difference of opinion and wants
absolutely
to be overheard, and then no action gets...
one issue is more important than another, even though there's very clearly a most important issue. I mean, period. But like, what are kind of your thoughts on that, or like advice that you have, or things that you actively do to continue a culture of inclusivity in this? You fuck it up once and you're out. You're done.
I always go back to my faith. And my faith is, even though like I am a Christian, I am also bisexual. And so they
I know. They don't see it, but
they don't see. But the thing is this is what I try and tell as many people as possible, is that don't judge another person. We're not here to judge other folks. And don't look at what I got in my eye when you got the same shit in your eye.
Hey, pot, no kettle.
Exactly. Like, you can't be saying, oh, you're doing wrong when you are sleeping with your neighbor's wife. Like, it don't work that way. Like,
yeah.
And so I try to like explain to folks that we're all gonna come from different lives. We're all gonna come from viewing different things, but we can't have that depict us as an evil person or divide. Exactly.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna get a little personal now, if you don't mind.
No
You had
problem.
mentioned your faith, and I saw a post of yours on Instagram about your faith, and you know, your handle's also Stony Scorpio, and I love the work that you're doing for cannabis and POC in Portland. But I want you just to talk about those like kind of existing parts of your identity: Christian, bi, so like in the queer community, Black, you know what I'm saying? A cannabis user, you know, somebody who smokes marijuana. How do you feel yourself like having to explain those things? Because I remember when I was in college, I was still kind of religious and also delving into feminism, and I just felt so conflicted with those two identities, and I had a hard time figuring out how to have those coexist. Is that something that you feel conflicted about ever, or you know what I mean?
I mean, you're continuing to grow. And so if you are not conflicted about something in some way, are you really growing? And and so I try to use and just share with, I dive into the Bible, of course, and I go into the Bible and I'm like, okay, during this time, this might have been something that
more applicable.
There you go. More applicable.
Sorry.
No, you're okay.
I have my own.
No, you're okay. You're okay, and we'll talk about that because it's healthy to do that. And so I also see it as, how do I want to word this? When I talk about my faith and what I do, it can be very hard because I understand that some folks see it in different, somebody described it, like I'm friends with, my best friend is a Republican. So I always am combating with her and doing that type of work. And
bless you.
I know. And nobody knows how I do it. And she considers herself independent, and I am fine with that. But she does have more conservative views. And so when I talk to her about that, I'm like, okay, so then when we get to, I understand we have the Old Testament and we also have the New Testament. And I have read the Old Testament and said, okay, so this is what we have thought in the past. Some folks might think of it now, still now, and still might be living in that world as like, well, we have to do that. We have to continue to do that. And it's like, no, because if
it's weaponized now.
Exactly. Because if you look at the New Testament, you see as soon as he is crucified, that the veil is torn. And because that veil is torn, it also means that things have changed. He has forgiven us for our sins. No, we're not supposed to do certain things. I understand that. But he has forgiven us for our sins. So if you don't feel comfortable in your skin and you are like crying over it and trying to commit suicide and all those different things for like transgender and stuff like that, do what makes you feel happy. That's how I see it.
Yeah. I
don't want to lose you because you don't feel like you're a part. Everybody's a part of this life. Everybody's a part of this world. And I don't want to lose you just because you don't feel comfortable in your own skin.
Okay. I can see that. I can see where you're coming from. Would you consider yourself, more spiritual, or do you feel like you have a community at the church, that kind of thing?
When I started reading the Bible, I really wanted to develop the whole thing, like during church and everything. It's great and all, but what I wanted to develop was a personal relationship with him.
Right. Yeah, I feel like.
And so I didn't want to have that get in the way of doing these ritual things. Because as I've read in the Bible, a lot of those, we don't have to do ritual things. These ritual things are mostly because it's for our man-made benefit. And I see it as that. And all we have to do is, or I feel like, to me personally, now other Christians might not agree, my family might not agree, I don't know. But to me, I feel like in order to do, all you have to do is continue to have a conversation with him, read the Bible, understand, interpret it how you will, because there's always going to be different interpretations. And
not on the side of hatred, though. Let's not do that, or condemning.
Exactly. Not on the side of hatred or condemning.
Right. I think that's where that difficulty sets in, is because the church is so restrictive. I mean, a lot. I would consider myself agnostic. I don't think that there's anything wrong with organized religion. Okay, wait, hold on. I don't think there's anything wrong with having your belief system and your faith and believing in whatever it is you believe in. But I've just always had such an issue with the church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because traditionally it doesn't welcome
people.
Just people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's always something that's restricting or restraining.
Absolutely. You're looking spicy over there, Britton.
I am a little spicy. I'm a little spiced.
Not spicy.
So I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church. Okay.
Yes.
And I have dealt with the homophobia that comes from the Black community in the church.
We're from the South.
Lakeview, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, born in Washington, D.C., so experienced it there. I have issues with a book that was written by another human being. There was something else. I have a lot of issues with the church, with the black church, with the other churches that are very racist, that are very it's the church has been weaponized, in my opinion. It has been used in a way to pit people against each other. It's fallen into our politics. It's fallen into how we treat people, the disrespect, the ego,
wars,
whole
ass wars,
wars. Yes.
I also have an issue with the fact that we were brought over here, or people were brought over here on on ships and were taught these religions, and had lessons implemented in them that are cause as to why we are so divided, why we can be we're not always divided. I know we work on things, but why there is division in our community today. And it bubbles my guts.
But I mean, I really respect the fact that you're open about your faith and where you're coming from, especially because it is your own personal relationship with God, right?
And and you talking about how that works for you, and how that doesn't fray you from how you treat people,
right?
And I can see that in you, and I know that about you. And in that regard, I'm like, yes, this is the way.
That's the way that it should be.
Absolutely.
Done. Yes. So
it's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yes.
That it's not how it is.
But we're grateful that that you come here, that you're here, and that you're talking on that experience, because I know for me it was a big conflict for a long time. I didn't know how to allow those parts of my identity to coexist. Probably because my mindset was more in a church setting, right? And not my own personal relationship.
And I think and just continuing on that a little bit, because of my experiences with world travel, I have been fortunate to experience a lot of different religions. Okay. And more or less, they're the same stories. You know what I'm saying? And religions in other countries are used to demean women and used to keep them out of power and continue. I mean, and there is colorism and racism all over this world. Okay.
The Mormon
you know what
church,
I mean? It's wild. And so I just, we need to.
We'll stay talking about it.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I hope that doesn't. Go ahead, Kay. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, I think it's really important that there are folks who are queer, who are brown and black, speaking up about how to allow those things to coexist, or that I hate to say this, but that Christianity is not all evil, because there are things about it that are evil. There are things about the church that are the Christian church and Catholic churches that are evil. But I think it's really important that there are folks who are visible talking about those kinds of things. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you.
Yeah.
We both appreciate you.
Thank you. I mean, I think about when I went to New Orleans, they talked about how the slave masters would impose Christianity onto the slaves, but they had their own gods that they worshipped and that they came with. And this is the history that I wish I was more connected to. This is why when I hear stories about Oshun and things like that, I'm like, this more relates to me. And I just want to be able to figure out what is what, and what works for me.
Yeah.
And that's just my struggle. I've also just had issues with the church since my mom passed away. So it's just.
No, and maybe we can come back on there just because, so I'm not going to say, all of my church fondness has been good. I mean, it's everything, there's always going to be problems within the church, no matter what church. And it might be power struggles, people with homophobia, colorism, and different things like that. But the thing, like I say, and what I've learned from just continuing to go through and sort of like through music is that as long as you have a personal relationship and he knows what your heart is, then it's going to be okay. You're going to be saved. You believe that he died for your sins?
You think Jesus was a white man?
Girl, please.
On a light note, with you having so many hands in the pot, how do you preserve something for yourself?
Yes.
How do you protect yourself and dive into your own care? What does that look like for you?
So that's something that I'm still doing. And my aunt had asked me this the other day. And I said that, well, I'm retiring from a lot of things. So, like, I'm not going to be the Women's Caucus chair for the Democratic Party of Oregon no more. I am going to retire, actually, after our meeting that we're having in August. And I am doing more things where, like, I'm working to get paid. Because self-care for me and how I see it is that if I can financially take care of myself, that's all I need.
Right. I get you.
I like if I don't have to worry about making bills and not having a job right now and all that fun stuff that you
Just
get
to fucking live.
just to exactly just to live.
Yeah.
Then I am totally fine. I need to work on more of the making sure that I am not always out all the time, so I can get
in
stuff.
The streets?
Yeah, I'll be out in the streets.
Okay.
No, I'm not. But I have to make sure like I'm not doing things for other folks.
Yeah.
So,
overextending yourself.
Exactly. Exactly.
Child.
Yes.
Which
And
that must get hard in community work. You
it
know
does.
What I'm saying?
It does.
Because you're constantly doing shit
And
for
people
other
are constantly
people.
coming to you.
Oh yeah. Always. And so having a cutoff button and making
Boundaries.
sure healthy boundaries and making sure that I am not overextending myself, not making sure that I am spending time with more of my support animals.
Ooh, you got support animals?
I got support animals.
I love it.
Tell us.
I got 2 cats.
Two cats?
Yeah. Milo and Bella.
Oh, I love those names.
2 cats. One
That's
chick.
dope.
Would you ever run for office?
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll vote for you. Better put that shit on Facebook. You know.
So we reached a point where we have Britain's weird question time, but this time it's theme song edition.
Oh.
Where you have to name that theme song.
Yay! This is good. Okay.
Cool.
First one.
Nintendo 64.
64.
Or Mario.
Yeah, you're right,
Yes,
Mario,
there
but
you
they wouldn't
go.
know Nintendo 64. You better say the original.
Original. Excuse me.
It was Super Nintendo.
It was Nintendo. The first one. Y'all be wrong. Okay.
I never had a Nintendo.
Whatever, you youngsters. Okay,
I never
next one. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun
Inspector
dun.
Gadget.
Yeah!
Oh my god, I was thinking Addams Family. What's that one? Do 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 do. Sorry, never
Wow,
mind.
you don't know anything, Kayla.
I'm
no.
sorry.
You're not. This isn't for you. This is for
Okay.
Erica Fuller.
You're right.
This
You're right.
isn't
You're
for
right. I'm letting Erica answer before I say anything.
All right. There's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. Love and condition and the grandest I don't be afraid
Ooh.
is even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside these gentle walls.
Family Matters?
Yeah.
Wow. That was beautiful, B. Beautiful.
All right.
You're really with it with the vocals today.
Thank you.
That was all just for him so that he could sing. It had nothing to do with you.
It had everything to do with you, Erica. All right. I know my parents love me. Stand behind me, come what may. I know now that I'm ready for
Different world.
Yep.
She killing it. They killing it
Okay,
today.
this might be messed up, the one that I'm about to do.
Oh, okay.
It might be real messed up.
Okay.
And I apologize in advance.
Fabulous.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why it's problematic.
All right, last one.
Okay.
Room Arabian night, like Arabian days.
Aladdin. Man.
That was really good. You really know those songs very well.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
do.
Wow.
Last one.
Wait, okay.
X-Files.
Bravo.
God damn, you got every single one.
Yes,
That was
you did.
sickening.
You got all of
You
them.
did great.
Yes.
You're doing so good, sweetie.
So good, so good. What would Erica today tell 12-year-old Erica?
Ooh. Erica today would tell 12-year-old Erica to not worry about those damn bullies because you are remarkable
Mm-hmm.
and you organize the Women's March.
Hey,
Wow.
fuck it up.
I mean, this is better than any bullies. I bet you those bullies ain't been on TV.
I love it. I love it.
Look at me now, bitch.
So,
what you should have
when
said.
we bring the show to a
Press
close,
Mm-hmm.
we like to invite the guest to name the episode by answering this question.
It takes a village to
Learn.
Mm.
Oh,
You know what? As simple as that is, we've never had that answer before.
Never. I like that.
Takes
I
a
love
village
it.
to learn.
Listen, you're a gem.
Thank you so much.
We're so great. Portland is extremely lucky to have you.
Yeah. Where can people
Because
find
Portland
you?
is
What's coming up?
Yes.
Plug all the things.
So you can find me on 2 spots. Stony Scorpio. Let me get it up real quick because I know that I'm gonna mess it up.
I love your Instagram, by the way.
Thank you.
I love all of your posts.
Stony_Scorpio 26. And then we also have Miss Erica Denise _XO.
Mm.
And what I'm going to be doing next is I think I'm going to be taking some time from me. So you can just...
I hear that.
Yay.
And you can totally go and watch what I do on my Instagram.
Mm.
Nice.
I'll be there. Double tapping the
Nice.
shit out of
Nice.
it.
Nice. Yes, go check out Erica's work and everything that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Their Instagram is pretty lit.
Yes.
Lots of info there.
Yes.
Lots of it.
And all of
Congratulations on
your-
everything you're doing.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you for really like doing the work.
Doing the
Putting
work,
in the
God
legwork.
damn it. Yeah.
Dun, 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 sexy, sexy. Ain't nothing wrong with doing the work all night long. Ow.
Okay.
The original song is doing the butt, but whatever.
Okay.
It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
Anyway, we love you.
I love you guys too.
Come back to Village
Thank
Vibes
you for
anytime.
supporting us.
Yes.
Of course.
And thank you for reaching out to me privately about like checking in and sitting down.
Of
and
course.
talking with one another. That meant a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're like a really good person.
No, I'm sure you got some shit in there.
Don't we all?
Don't talk to my sister.
Okay, y'all.
All right.
We'll be
Everybody
right
be
back.
well.
All right.
All right. It's a vibe.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, it's a vibe.
It's a vibe.
Who's going first?
You go ahead.
Okay. A$AP Rocky reportedly still staying in Sweden and dealing with that jail sentence because the judge fears he is a flight risk.
Not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
Not a vibe.
Even though, how do you feel about his comments that he made about like Black Lives Matter?
What?
He made a comment a long time ago where he said, I don't know nothing about that, and I don't want to know nothing about that because I live in Soho and LA and this and that and the other. And now all of a sudden he's wanting the black people to unite to get him out of jail.
That is a conflict. I forgot about that. Yeah.
We need like a medium one.
I don't want to say if it's a vibe or not. Yeah, medium vibe. Maybe.
It's a medium vibe?
I hate to say this, but it doesn't matter how much money you have. You're never safe from racism if you're not
right. I think if I compartmentalize the situation, I mean, the people who antagonize him were totally in the wrong. He has no business being in jail.
Yeah, agreed.
He didn't want to fight. He recorded the whole thing.
Right.
In that regard, not a vibe.
Yes.
Those comments, not a vibe.
Not a vibe. Yeah, I get it. Okay, so it's not a vibe. It's a vibe. Obviously, it's a vibe. Spirit and the gift.
Listen.
The one, the only.
She
Miss
has
Queen Bee.
transcended, and she has completely let us know Blue Ivy is going to be heading the world.
Next in line.
Like, she's now ascended to, I mean, she's always been global, worldwide, right? But like, really like ascended to like that global world status. Like, this is what the music is going to be. Like, we're not going to get ass shaking anymore. We might, in some show. We talked about this the other day. I was like, wow, I think we really missed our chance missing the Formation tour and
I
Coachella.
still feel bad about it.
I was like, damn. Like,
Coachella.
I don't think we're ever going to get, I think
I know.
she's now gone into like liturgical dance, she's flowing through it. She's doing modern contemporary movements. She's evolved.
No, that is certainly the truth. She's definitely.
But her work is a vibe. Her work is a vibe.
Everything she does, man.
Yeah.
How can you not be impressed? I don't get it. Okay, your turn.
R. Kelly finally getting that jail sentence.
It's a vibe.
Bye, pumpkin. Bye, pumpkin. Bye, pumpkin. I just can't even believe that people have been talking about this. It took this long. People saw the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, and then the police were like, oh, the feds were like, we're going to investigate now.
Yeah.
They found 20 videos. People came forward with 20 videos. Also, the people in his camp who were booking the flights, who were recruiting these girls, y'all need to go to jail too.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, sis. Bye, pumpkin.
Bye, pumpkin.
Stop disrespecting black bodies, period. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? That's why he was able to get away with that. Nobody cares about black women.
Right.
Listen to them.
What a piece of shit.
Go ahead.
It's a vibe. Walking Dead film with Andrew Lincoln.
What?
A film, yeah.
I need to actually catch up on the last 2 seasons.
Oh, fuck that. I'm not doing
that's
shit.
a vibe. So he's coming back? Are they bringing it to a close?
So I don't know. I think it's all just rumors right now.
Andrew Lincoln is fine.
I think Andrew Lincoln is fine too. Somebody said, I think it was my brother. He was like, "Oh, he ruined the show for me. I don't like Rick Grimes." I was like, "Oh."
But that was the main character.
I know, but I know, but I think he wanted maybe somebody closer to the comics. I don't know. I
thought he was good. Carl. Poor Carl.
Poor Carl.
Oh my goodness.
Except for not, because that kid was fucking annoying.
He
I couldn't
was
stand
annoying.
that kid.
I was like, you just don't
Denai's
listen,
also
do you?
leaving the series.
As she should.
But
they better not kill her off. She better go off into like the sunset with her dead ass cousins, like she did when she came into it.
Chop,
chop, motherfucker.
Yep, I agree with that.
She's Gotta Have It gets the axe.
Not a vibe. I did see that, but
what the hell is
Spike Lee did say, like, if somebody else picks it up, I can't believe that Netflix didn't pick it up again.
That doesn't even make sense.
It really doesn't.
That show is brilliant.
That show is so good. Ugh.
God, I'm tired of Spike's work being undervalued the way it is. I'm really tired of that. Y'all hoes better give this man his things. I mean,
I know.
he's problematic as fuck, but you know.
Okay. It's a vibe. Good Boys.
Oh.
So we saw a movie, Good Boys. It doesn't come out until August 14th. We were at a
such
special
a vibe.
premiere.
It was so good.
It is so funny,
See
y'all. You
children
have
cursing
to
the
see
way
it.
they
Fuck.
I mean,
Like little, they're so little.
the kids are just wow. Oh my
Every
God.
time that kid screamed, I lost it.
Lucas really bothered me. That character really bothered me.
Anyway, y'all have to see it. I have not laughed, I don't think, that much in a movie in a very long time. Very funny. Your turn?
I think I'm done.
Okay, I have one more. Sam Smith released his song. I don't even remember what it's called, but
you
there's
said
a
he's
video, and he's doing choreo in it. Is that a vibe? Even though you haven't
I haven't
seen
seen it. But what do you knowing
so-
me?
Yes.
Is he hitting the counts? Is it a like a full out with feeling beat?
It's not really a full out with feeling, no. I mean, it's not like hard choreography.
It's not
you
getting
know
to
what
the
I'm saying?
money.
No,
Hit.
absolutely
Oh, okay.
no. Think. Like, but here's the thing, though. I will say this: Beyonce fucking changed everything.
She ruined it.
Everybody's
for all
got
of you hoes.
lineup dancers now. Everybody has just a line of dancers.
Everybody's doing that choreography where they lean on the dancer in front of them's back and pop their butt.
Yes,
and stuff.
absolutely.
Everybody's
Yes.
doing that.
Yeah. Those fucking the twirls and all that shit
Yep,
that y'all do
yep.
in the lines, Beyonce. Yeah, that's really changed everything. I feel like she really brought. Now, okay, I know that there are other artists who have done this, and I'm not.
There's a
only
lot of
crediting
international
her.
artists who are brilliant.
Absolutely, but I really do feel like Beyonce, with at least the music industry here, put choreography kind of to the front lines and was like, let's also include this. And I'm not saying that artists haven't done that, but I feel like in terms of choreography and performances, I mean, I feel like Beyonce really has influenced the shit.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Oh yeah.
Like people were not that concerned with
She's made
choreography.
a footprint in history, a full footprint.
Yeah. Like
Up.
people really weren't invested in choreography like that when it came to music performances.
Growing up, there was a Missy Elliott.
Absolutely. I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying that there aren't other artists who have done that. I just
Janet.
feel like she's put it on a major screen in terms of like how innovative she is with it, or at least the people she hires.
I don't want to deny Janet Jackson's influence.
Absolutely.
Or Tina Turner's.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
I mean, James Brown, Michael
Yeah.
Jackson.
Yeah,
Well,
we don't wanna
do we
do
get
that.
to say Michael Jackson these days?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
He's our king.
Okay. Yeah. Have you seen the documentary?
I have.
I don't know.
Chrissy Teigen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, one more. What do you think about It's a Vibe or Nah, this Hustlers film?
It's a vibe.
Yes.
They have
I think it's
all
a definite
the
like
chicas.
rip off from the Players Club, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
But it's new age.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know what I'm saying?
Everything's fine.
It's for the new generation.
Yes.
For the kids who have
Shout
no
out to
idea.
50-year-old J-Lo, by the way. My God.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna go see that one.
Yeah, me too.
Probably in
me
the
too.
theater.
Shit. I'm gonna go see Lion King too, even though the reviews are
I
in.
know. I'm thinking about maybe we'll go see it tonight. That's what. But anyway,
Is
okay.
it out now?
It is. That's why the Spirit dropped, or that's why the Gift dropped.
Is it drop? They dropped today.
Yeah, it came out yesterday, I think. The Lion King.
Oh, the 17th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it
Okay.
clicking for you now?
Yes, it
Okay, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Yes,
This has
it's
been
been a great
another
show.
lovely week. I'll just say it again. www.patreon, patreon.com/Village Vibes
Village.
Podcast. One word. If you
Village.
want to become a monthly donor, I mean, that would really help us out. I mean, I know that we've got y'all in a holding space right now and we don't really know what we're doing in the future, but
We're still gonna bring you quality programming in the meantime.
you can still back pay. You know, back pay is a real thing. You know, we've been putting out content for like 2.5 years.
Oh my God.
2.5 years.
Look at us.
That's nuts. I can't
Look
believe it.
at us.
And still no better. Just kidding.
Actually, a lot better.
Speaking for myself,
Mm-hmm.
still trash.
No,
Yeah.
that's not true.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah,
you
shout out to all
know?
of you.
Appreciate
You're
y'all.
great.
Love you. Have a wonderful week.
Mm-hmm. It takes.
Go change the world. It takes
Ooh,
a
I like that.
village.
Go pick up some trash out in the street. Get plastic out of the goddamn ocean.
Yep.
I want to do that. I want to do a trash pickup day. But I'm definitely getting a little picker up thing because I'm not using my hands for shit.
I put gloves on, fool.
I guess.
But
I gotta. That means I gotta bend over. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like if you're gonna be invested in that way, then you should probably also stop producing plastic waste and try.
How do we do that?
Oh fuck! I have no fucking idea.
Like,
I have literally no
the
idea.
Usage of plastic. Like, I've really been mindful of that lately, and I'm just like,
This is what's frustrating is that these things don't come from the bottom up; they come from the top down.
Yeah.
It's the corporations and all the big money makers that need to stop using plastic, but they're not going to because it's so cheap to produce.
Ugh.
I mean, we can make our statement by not using plastic and not buying products that use plastic, but I mean that's really fucking hard. You're talking about a lot of effort.
Yeah, like I have to now, like
Not
I take my bags with me to the grocery store. I have a vegetable bag, like, so I can stop using those plastic bags. I'm like, fuck.
I've started bringing in my own bags too. I mean, whatever contributions you can make them if you can.
Be mindful.
Yeah, I don't know how we got here, but yeah.
I'm still fasting, and I need a
You're
meal.
lightheaded, a little dizzy.
Mm-hmm.
I need something to eat.
I do. Do
Okay. I got a fruit snack. You want some fruit snacks?
Oh, you do? You have fruit snacks?
Yeah, it's a real small pouch though.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.